What up, guys? Good mother morning. It is, let me check the date, March 17th. Happy St. Patrick's Day, guys. One day right before my birthday, and tonight I'm actually flying out to Dallas for my friend's wedding. Got the coffee right here. Yum. Again, sipping on cold brew. My favorite coffee right now. I was thinking about in the shower what I really want to talk about today, and one of the comments that kind of stood out to me was it's a combination of things. Yesterday I was watching Joe Rogan, and he was talking about how a lot of people, they feel sort of trapped, ever, like, since, think about your life, right? You're in kindergarten, like at least I spent 5 years K through 5, right? So that was like 5-6 years there. You spend 3 years in middle school, and then you spend 4 years in high school, and then you're supposed to spend 4 years in college, and if you can afford it, or if you can, if you're smart, if you have the grades, or if you're smart enough, you can go on to further education, right? And one interesting comment that I was listening to about Joe Rogan was that he was just saying, like, it shouldn't, like, life shouldn't be so fixed. And some people, it gives a lot of people sort of anxiety seeing this fixed thing, and some people just feel like an outcast. Now, I'm a product of this system because I actually went through the whole thing, but I totally sort of agree. I think there should be some sort of flexibility, I think it's really healthy to, after you're 18, go out and see the world, and you can always come back to college and stuff. And his whole argument was that education should be free and stuff, which I think to a point, I think there is something about sacrificing money where you do take it a lot more seriously, and that's another thing. But anyways, I want to get to a comment left on my YouTube the other day. It's by Elaine Win. Hi, or Huyun, right? Win. Hi Kevin, I'm a high school senior right now, and I'm not completely confident in going into pharmaceuticals. I feel like I'm not smart enough. Do you think pharmacy school would be good for someone who is average, or do you need to excel in all your sciences to become a pharmacist? I like biology and chemistry, but I can't handle stress very well. And I totally feel you on this. Back in high school, even though I was like in a lot of honors and AP classes, doesn't mean I was doing super well. And I think to a point, like, I'll take my chemistry class for example. Like, when I was in honors chemistry, I remember one term I got a C-, dude, and I fucking sucked at chemistry. But that was like when I was in 10th grade. Then fast forward maybe 4 or 5 years, chemistry was actually one of my strongest subjects. I had a lot of fun with organic chemistry and stuff like that, and with the basic chemistry, I was killing it, dude. It was just really easy to me, and it just clicked all of a sudden. And I think that's the thing. Sometimes we forget that we actually grow throughout the years. You, like, take me for example. I don't think I'm the same person as 10 years ago. 10 years ago, I was just getting into college, and I was miserable as fuck. But I was like a freshman in college, didn't know what the fuck I wanted to do. I thought I wanted to do pharmacy, But as you go throughout your life, things like handling stress, you get better at it. And as long as you're always consistently working on it, that's all that really matters. And you're not going to be the same person that you are in high school. Then you're going to be a completely different person. You're going to be a different person when you come out of high school, go into college, and go into pharmacy school, and come out as a pharmacist if you decide to go that path, right? I think it's always important, because, like, think about it. You're in high school, and you don't really you don't really have that many life experiences, man. It's like your whole life you're pretty much in school. Your perspective is very limited. I think that's why so many kids, they get like so peer pressured, you know? They get peer pressured into things because that is their world. Like when people like bully you or make fun of you, this is why a lot of kids, they they do really crazy things like commit suicide, or you know, and it's just a really interesting time, you know. But I think life experiences, like especially after school, are so important. But and and here's the other thing, like people think like when I read this comment, sometimes I think people just think confidence is just overnight. One day you'll just wake up with it. But it's really not like that. What confidence is lack of repetition, you know? Think about any sort of skill. Why do certain people come off as confident? Whether it's picking up girls, going to a gym. Everybody knows, like, I think going to a gym is a good example. When you first go to a gym, you're kind of nervous. You don't know the exercises. You don't know if you're doing it right. You think you're going to get laughed at when people are, you think you're going to get laughed at because you're doing it wrong and that people are watching you. When in reality, no one gives a fuck, you know? But give it a few months, maybe by the 20th workout, you're a little more confident. You have a good idea of what you're doing, right? And then imagine you become an elite powerlifter or elite Olympic lifter, right? Imagine how much confidence you have into going to any gym. And you have to look at confidence as something you're always sort of building up. Now, am I the most confident motherfucker? Probably not. But I do realize it's always something I'm working on. And like a lot of the things, like how my dad treated me, or like my past, or how certain people treated me, and what people said to me, they don't matter anymore. You know, I think that's a huge thing. Sometimes like a lot of the things in our past, they affect us today. And sometimes we just gotta realize, like, somebody said this to me probably maybe 10 years ago. I'm not that same person within that 10 years. Remember that first example I gave? You're not the same person as you were 10 years ago, even 7 years ago, even last year, dude. For me, shit, I feel like I don't think I'm a completely different person. I don't think I've turned into like a neo-Nazi or anything like that. But you know, there's like small changes that happen every single day, and just have faith that you can make it to pharmacy school if you have that vision. You know, if you really want to do it, do it. Surround yourself around really good mentors. And I think another thing is like, you should hang around people that are really inspiring. I actually spent some time with a older pharmacist. He started up his old pharmacy and stuff, but his way that he runs a pharmacy is so, oh my god, next level. It's like, it's a win-win for everyone. I was like, fuck, dude, how do I do this to my pharmacy? You know, like, I don't know if I'm going to stay in the pharmacy field, but I think there comes something really cool from problem solving. And when you problem solve, it's gonna be tough. You're gonna have moments where you feel like you're gonna quit, but I think you're gonna have moments where you're gonna wanna quit, but in the end, you're always making yourself better. You're expanding your mind. You're growing, you know, during those times, right? So I think anyone that is average, yes, they can do it. They can go to pharmacy school, but I think if you're average with no ambition, you're gonna fucking fail. How many times have I seen people, like a lot of my own friends, they're like, I'm gonna go pharmacy school, and I was like, cool, dude. And where are they 10 years later? Not in pharmacy school. They lied about pharmacy school. It sucks, dude. You know, it sucks not seeing people not do it, because I don't think I'm the smartest motherfucker around, but I think I definitely put in the work. I obviously did put in the work because I became a pharmacist, but it's something that everyone can do. I think that's or most people can do it, unless you have like a learning disability. You know, it just might be a lot harder, but I think there's opportunity for you, dude. And truthfully, like with a growing like with I think just to accept that your average is cutting yourself short too. And you really gotta think of yourself like, hey, you know what? I might suck right now, but I'm gonna be the baddest motherfucking drug dealer, and I'm gonna make like fucking El Chapo look like a bitch, you know? All right, guys. So I'm approaching 10-minute mark, but I just love like just talking with you guys. I'm headed out to Dallas this weekend. So if you guys are in the Dallas area, make sure to, well, I don't know if this video will be up in time, but let me know if you're in the area, and I'll see you guys next time. Anyways, guys, like, subscribe, comment. I can't even get that out naturally. Like, subscribe, comment, and let me ask you, what type of person do you think what kind of person were you 10 years ago, and how are you now? Anyways, guys, thank you for watching my video. As always, like, oh my god, I said it the third time, man. Like, subscribe, comment. Really subscribe, dude. Like, seriously, my count is going up. It's going up, but it's like 1 subscriber a day. We need to turn up, son. So anyways, guys, take care. Peace.